this opposition unity is a fantasy idea.
National Solidarity Parties.
National Solidarity Parties will not give up its battleground, even if it was to lose again.
We don't abandon our residents. We have made a promise to them. We will be the one in Parliament to whip them into shape. Let's bring our attention back on issues that matters most. Don't take the easy way out by simply raising tax. We should not let Parliament be dominated by just the white and the blues. Almost 99% political parties, they have former members of the NSP.
Are you guys always on the lookout for the next Nicole Seah? Welcome back to Political Prude's GE2025 special, where we're creating content to help all of us get ready to vote. In this series, we're giving Singapore's political parties the opportunity to introduce themselves, share what they stand for, and tell us about their vision for the future. This episode shines a spotlight on the National Solidarity Party, or the NSP, a party that believes a strong Singapore needs a diversity of voices and a vibrant multi-party system. Today, I'm very excited to share that we are joined by Mr. Spencer Ng, Secretary General of the NSP. Mr. Ng will walk us through the NSP's core values and their plans for the future. Let's dive in. Mr. Spencer Ng, welcome to Political Prude, the podcast.
Hi Joe, thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. All right, so this series is really for us to be able to understand each party, and I would like to know more about the NSP as well. So could you help explain to the audience today, like what is the NSP all about?
Okay, I believe some Singaporeans still do not really understand or know who and what NSP is. Okay, actually we are not a very new party. We were founded in 1987. So we are one of the oldest party in Singapore. But it's only in 2011 that we gained a lot of eyeballs, because that's the year we decided to move out from SDA, the Alliance, to campaign under our own banners. So this is where we really start to campaign using NSP name itself. And what do we stand for or champion for? Originally, our founders feel that for Singapore to be prosperous, to be successful, and to create a better life for Singaporeans, we need to really work on our SMEs to help Singaporeans to create businesses, and in turn can create quality jobs for Singaporeans. And from there, with more trade, you create more businesses, more money for more Singaporeans. Yeah, that's the original intent of NSP. But as times evolve, as time passes and we evolve as well, we need to cater to the needs of current times, what the people need now. So as of now, our manifesto has stated that we aim to serve the concerns of the different generation in Singapore, from the children, infant stage, to young couples, young adults, in their education, straight to job hunting, and then the sandwich class, the working adults, and people who are heading into retirement years. So basically, we want to address the concerns of Singaporeans as a whole, not specifically a special target group or interest group. But of course, we are open to discussion with different interest groups, be it the concern for what is happening in Gaza now. We are open for discussion. In fact, we have helped to raise funds to help out in the supplies, to help the Gazanians. Be it LGBT plus, we are also open for discussion. We need to be more inclusive as well as to accept diversity.
All right.
Yeah.
So when I speak to my friends, a lot of them don't really quite follow politics, and they tend to lump all the opposition parties together. Because of the work that I do here, what I realize is that actually, if you take a closer look at each one, they're very different, right?
Yes.
So could you just very simply and very briefly point out to us what are the USPs of NSP, right? Like what are the things that set NSP apart from the rest of the opposition parties?
Okay, the one reason why I choose NSP is that NSP has a very welcoming, open platform where we welcome healthy discussion and we are not regimental. Right? In a way, we are very forward-looking and we are constantly evolving. So, this is a summary of, the uniqueness of NSP itself. As you compare to other parties, they have certain baggages. They revolve around certain personality. So for NSP, we don't go now on this path. To us, every Singaporean has a right to step forward, to champion for causes, policies that leads to the welfare and betterment of Singaporeans' life. Yeah, so this is the difference between NSP and other political parties.
Understand. So if you take a look at the people that support the NSP, how would you describe the supporters? Like who are the kind of people that the NSP resonate with or appeal to?
Okay, we realize that supporters for NSP, people who will vote for NSP since 2011 to 2020 and this upcoming GE, the voters do evolve and change as well. But what we realize is that we are attracting more rational, moderate Singaporeans who really have the heart to have policies, to really want policies that are constructive and healthy to Singapore and Singaporeans. They don't really like policies that are radical in a sense, is either this or that, or we need to tear down the house and rebuild everything from scratch. So whenever we champion, we always push this message across that we are here to make Singapore better. If certain policies are going well, we are looking for ways to further enhance it to make it even better. If certain policies are really, really bad, by all means, we go all out, to have that policy taken down. Yeah, voters who will want to vote for us, they are more rational, I would say, which comprises, I believe, majority of Singaporeans in Singapore.
Right. So, I'm sure that every party has the core values that they stand by and really build, everything about them on, right? Whether it's manifestos, whether it's, the people that they recruit. So I know you touched on it very briefly earlier on, but if you could just spell it out very clearly for us, what are the core values of the NSP?
The main core values definitely is service to the people and service for the people as well, and loyalty to our country. So these are the core values that shape our thoughts when we are crafting our policies. Whatever we do, we have Singaporean and Singapore at the center. That's why we are the centralist party. We try to balance the best of both worlds, not to be too much on the right, not too much on the left, because in order to manage Singapore, it is a very challenging job. And we have diverse people in Singapore wanting to work towards a common goal, to have a better life, a better quality of life and standard of life in Singapore, but without the stress of ever rising costs. So it's a balancing act. So this is where our core values are. We want to balance the demands and wants of our people here. Take for example the HDB. HDB is an ongoing issue because there are three groups of people that we need to be concerned with. The first group definitely will be young parents, young couples wanting to purchase a flat at an affordable rate, a really affordable rate, without exhausting their CPF and even their cash on hand. On the second group of people will be the group of people who buying the idea of asset enhancement. They want to flip and then they want to earn the money. See? And then the third group will be the group of people who believes that, no, this is my forever home. No, I don't want to be affected by decaying leaves, or I don't want to be persuaded to shift my house, to downgrade my house when I'm old because I cannot afford the cost of living anymore. I need to so-called right size and need to cash out the money. It's my forever home. I want to stay here forever till the end of my life. So when crafting policies, we need to take into account of these three group of people. So it's a very touchy issue. And if you're asking NSP whether we have the solutions or not, I will tell you straight that it's a very complicated problem, and it's pretty unfair to ask an opposition party who has no access to the big data and a lot of information from government agencies to come up with a foolproof solution. But what we can see is that, no, we identified three groups of people, and it's a growing concern. And what the PAP doing now is kicking the can down the road. So our role when we go into Parliament is to press for an answer. If they can't give an answer, what will be the best solution moving forward to address the concerns of these three group of people? Yeah. So this is bringing back to a core value of NSP. Ultimately, is service to the people, for the people, and for the country.
All right, clear. Let's talk about the people that the NSP has, right? So if you were to maybe say certain traits or qualities that maybe you look for in, accepting people or recruiting people even, what are some of the traits that you look out for?
Definitely is being passionate about serving the country and the people, and wanting to champion not just on national level policies, but as well as bread and butter issues and localized issues that residents face, especially when we encounter residents. We realize their issue cannot be solved by current policies because the current policies do not have solutions to their problems. They are the people who fall through the cracks. So when we are recruiting people or when people approach us wanting to join us, being passionate about serving is one trait that we definitely want to look out for. Being passionate can cover almost a lot of things. And of course, being sincere. That you are being very sincere, that you really do want to help for people and not for a hidden agenda kind of thing. It's just because you want public attention kind of thing. Yeah, which some of our ex-members maybe want that.
Oops.
So these are two things that we look for: being passionate about serving, and being sincere to serve.
Right. I mean, you mentioned previous party members and everything, but I think one of the things that I realized when I was doing my research on the NSP is that actually a lot of prominent politicians today come from the NSP, and they found their roots from there. So, in the industry that I'm in, we're always saying, hey, actually, this company or this agency is very good at talent spotting, right? If you look at where everybody starts from, they're like, hey, you can actually see that they all started from this particular company and they all moved on to do their own thing. What do you have to say to that, actually?
Okay. Yes, I mentioned before, NSP, we work on a very open concept platform. We welcome people to join us, to share their ideas, what they want to champion with us, and to work from ground up. So I only took over the SG role in 2017. So a lot of the members who joined and left, that happened before I took over the role.
Okay.
So if you look at all the political parties in the market now, I would say almost 99%, they have former members of NSP. So we are kind of like the training academy of politicians in a way. Well, some good people left. For example, Hazel, Tony, and other people who left, they left because of various reasons. What I can say is that as of now, after I have taken over the responsibility to manage NSP, to grow NSP, we are a very tight ship, that we have a group of people who are very sincere. in serving. Almost all my members now, they have never joined another political party before.
Right.
Yeah. So, you can see people who left, they have founded their own parties. They have joined different parties. I won't comment much on why they left and want to set up their own parties, to create even more competition in our political landscape. I wish them all the best, for their own campaign. What I can say, NSP, moving forward, our direction is very clear. Yeah, we want to propose very constructive, people-centric and forward-looking policies, future-proof.
Based on the current slate of candidates that you guys have, you're contesting in 2 GRCs, right?
Yes.
So are there any candidates that maybe the younger voters should look out for or, take notice of?
One definitely will be Z. He's a candidate for Tampines GRC. He's very young. I think he's 33 years old. His birthday not over yet. I was surprised that he's willing to step forward as a candidate to contest in a GE, because as you know, in order to step up as a candidate for opposition party is pretty much a big deal, that it will open up your private life for public scrutiny, and a lot of times it affects your jobs. So there are companies who have policies in place that no, employees are not supposed to be involved in political affairs kind of thing. And he's championing real issues where young couples are facing, which when I was younger, I also faced the same issues. So yeah, he's speaking out for a lot of young Singaporeans, the challenges that they face. So if young Singaporeans would like someone to champion their concern, Z definitely is one. Yeah, he's very passionate to advocate better childcare, better policies for young parents, be it application for HDB flat, looking for slot for infant care and childcare, the cost of bringing up children. Yeah, he's the guy to go to. Yeah. And one more thing, I'm also very happy that he was one of my former students. So after so many years, after he observed everything, he said, okay, my former teacher is still surviving and doing well. Okay, it's pretty safe to join opposition and step out as a candidate.
For me, my first introduction to the NSP was in 2011. I actually couldn't vote back then.
Okay.
I was a JC student, and my GP teacher told me to read up on the elections.
Yeah.
And then when we went back to class, I think we had a discussion about Nicole Seah. And the idea of optics, right? And I think back then the discussion was Nicole Seah from the NSP versus Tin Pei Ling from the PAP. So then we had a whole class discussion about optics and messaging and public perception. So that was my first introduction to the NSP.
Okay.
But I think with Nicole Seah specifically, she was one of those once in a blue moon you get a star catch like that, right?
Yeah.
So. It's not always that I would say, parties like NSP will have personalities that big, right? And even this year, I think everybody's trying to feel the next dreamers, trying to put out someone to be. So my question to you then is, are you guys always on the lookout for the next Nicole Seah?
Okay, as much as we can, we do not want to work around a certain personality. I will not say that it's not good, but in the long term, definitely it's not very healthy for a political party to grow. You may suddenly find there's an issue with succession plan, and people identify with the individual more than the party values itself. So we find that it will not be healthy for politics in Singapore. Ultimately, you cannot depend on star to fill your stomach and to improve your quality of life, right? So we are working on strengthening the substance of our policies.
I guess without the presence of these kind of big personalities, I'm also curious as to how you're actively reaching out to younger audiences, because those people would definitely get eyeballs. But without them, how else are you reaching out to the younger audiences?
If you are looking for a rational, responsible opposition party, that is focused only on advancing policies that benefit Singaporeans and Singapore and the future generations of Singapore, then NSP will be the choice. We do not have any political baggage of the past. We do not hold grudge against any party that can be the ruling party in the parliament, because we only concerned with how to make Singapore better. You see, people ask us, you are currently facing three-corner fight in Sembawang. Well, it's a battle between two very different philosophy. The other brand, usually people will associate with being aggressive, confrontational, out to tear the house down. But for us, we are not this type. For us, we are very rational. We want to go into parliament. My NSP MPs will definitely audit all the upcoming policies that the PAP may want to propose in parliament. We will scrutinize every line item that they want to spend, and we want to know what is the ROI, be it in terms of monetary values or intangible values. I mentioned in my speech last night that there are too many mistakes, blunders by PAP, and their leaders are not taking responsibility for it. For example, the YOG. The budget burst by 300%. How on earth can you miscalculate by 300%? You see? And the minister simply, I'm sorry, but it's the taxpayers' money. You need to be responsible for this kind of spending. See? So it's a choice between two different philosophy. One is being aggressive, looking to tear the house down. The other one is more rational, constructive, and with only one focus in mind: to make Singapore better for Singaporeans.
Sorry to interrupt, we'll get back to our conversation with Mr. Ng shortly. But please do me a favor. Like this podcast and share it with your friends and family. It takes 2 seconds, but it actually makes a huge difference in helping us get more views. Alright, let's get back into it. Alright, I mean, you've already started talking about the GE, so let's go into it. So what is there a campaign slogan that you can share with everyone from the NSP?
Yeah, our campaign slogan for this GE is "Your Future, Our Priority." Yeah, why we decided on this is that we realize that a lot of political parties, they are too focused in change. You see, or wanting to gain more power in the parliament. So we feel that they are losing the focus. I'm not saying that change is no good, but what do you want to change? It seems like you want to change everything that we have built so far for the past 60 years. Yeah, we need change in terms of broadening our acceptance in diversity. We need to change in our mindset that the old global order is no longer in place. What can we do to do better in this current climate to seize opportunities in times of crisis? We should have a more savvy investor, businessman mindset. When every situation there will be opportunities to capitalize on, to capture on. So our slogan, "Your Future, Our Priority," is that Singaporeans' future, Singapore future is our priority. As I mentioned, our main focus is to make Singapore better for Singaporeans. That's why we come up with this slogan: "Your future, our priority." Your future, be it your children education, tertiary education. When you're looking for jobs, what kind of jobs are available? Are the jobs generated by the ruling party quality jobs with good pay, or you are simply safe? The ruling party is simply safe by the gig economy, whereby the gig economy is hiring tens of thousands of people in Singapore. And your future, everyone will grow old. What happened to our retirement years? Are we just going to sit by at a coffee shop? When we do our walkabout, even during normal non-campaigning days, we meet a lot of senior folks. sitting at coffee shop, and then they share with us. They do not know what to do during their senior years, whereby they are still burdened with cost of living. Is that the life we want to be in Singapore? Our priority is to address concerns of different generations of Singaporeans. Yeah, so it matters. Wherever is your future is our priority.
Now that, we have the hindsight of post-nomination day, we can kind of see, who's competing in which GRCs. And I think for the NSP, both constituencies that you're contesting in are multi-party constituencies, right? And I was researching and reading up before this entire series. One thing that, that I learned was that for opposition parties, they want to try to avoid, three-way fights as much as possible. Usually, the best chance of winning is if it's a one-to-one against the PAP, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through that process when, different opposition parties are trying to figure out where to contest and, why is it still, even after knowing that the chances are lower, there are still so many multi-corner fights, especially with Tampines GRC. It's like a four-way fight, which is so interesting to look at, right? Because I don't think that has happened in quite a while. And when you look at internet comments, they're always like, why they cannot just like work it out among themselves? And it's so easy to say, right? But I'm sure that there are processes behind the scenes, and I'm sure that there must have been talks. I don't know. I'm assuming, right? So maybe you are the person that can maybe share and give us some insight on this process as well.
Okay. Let me touch on what NSP believe in.
Okay.
We believe in groundwork. Building relations with the residents, knowing the constituency, knowing what the resident needs and what they would like to have. So we will only contest in constituency where we have presence in the constituency over a period of time. We will prefer not to suddenly appear in one constituency and say, okay, I'm going to represent opposition in this ward now. Please vote for me. It doesn't hold ground for us. I don't know about other political parties, what they think about this. How do we try to avoid three-corner fights? I believe this started in 2011. NSP has been the party that is holding roundtable talks with every possible opposition parties to try to okay, let's work it out. We will try to avoid three-corner fight because of opposition unity. So, as we can see in this GE, this opposition unity idea is a fantasy idea. It's what netizens want, and it does not reflect what the other political party wants. For this GE, there are no formal talks per se, okay? But there are bilateral invitations to have some coffee, having some sugar-coated words, telling you, please just move aside. We are coming in. Yeah. So let's talk about Tampines, the four-corner fight. Everybody is four-corner fight. Talking about this Tampines. So we are very surprised. We are very surprised that PPP wants to contest in Tampines, whereby they have never walked the ground before. They have never appeared before. They are just like mushrooms suddenly sprouted out after heavy rain. So, they try to convince us to move aside all these things. But to us, we feel that this is very irresponsible for us. After years of groundwork with residents, all the relationships that we have built over time, and then just because you came in with your agenda, then you tell us to move aside, it doesn't make sense to us. And we don't abandon our residents whereby we have make a promise to them, yes, we are here to serve. No, we did not say, no, we are here to contest, okay, no matter what. We make a promise that we are here to serve, regardless the situation. Because as a political party, if you cannot maintain your ground, you cannot maintain your promise to serve, it speaks volume of a political party that you are being easily swayed and abandon your original mission, your original goals. it's very dangerous for such party to be in a parliament where they cannot stand their own ground. They cannot do whatever it takes to serve the people and to serve and defend Singapore. This is what we tell PPP. No, whatever reasons, excuses you want to cook up, our purpose is to serve the residents there. No, it's our promise there, it's our commitment. We are not going to go back on our words. It's also a surprise that Workers' Party comes into the picture because we only see them once a while in Tampines GRC. And for them to abandon Marine Parade, as Mr. Pritam Singh has said, nobody say they cannot contest Marine Parade. So as I mentioned earlier on, opposition unity is a fantasy, it's what the netizens want. But on the ground, it works very differently. This GE has shown that many political parties, they are out for their own interests, to get as many seats as possible in parliament. It's an election for more power in the parliament. So it's a disadvantage to us in a way because we have been observing the gentleman rules of engagement for so long since 2011, and which lead us to Sembawang GRC. We have been there since 2015. Why we are there only at 2015? Because it was only that year the STP stated to the opposition party that, okay, we are not going to contest here anymore. Anybody wants? Yeah, whoever wants can come and take. We are like, in a way, okay, it creates a new constituency for us to work our ground, to establish our presence. So when it was left empty, we decided, okay, we want to take up the challenge. We want to serve the people over there. So we make the same commitment that we want to serve the residents over there. And fast forward to 2025, the same thing happened like what PPP did. We have some discussion, proposals were made, like why not NSP go to Holland Bukit Timah? Same thing, we have not walked the ground over in Bukit Timah. We do not know any residents there. We do not understand the local needs. It's quite ridiculous to suddenly appear and say, I want to represent you now. It is not our party values at all. Yeah. So we politely decline that no, that's not our values. It goes beyond our integrity to suddenly change constituency like a piece of paper, like it's a board game. Election is not board game. It's about the interests and the welfare and concerns of the residents there. We cannot treat it like it's just a board game of risk. What we can really compromise in the spirit of opposition unity, at that point of time, we still very much want to maintain this effort. So we decided, okay, SMC will let Dr. Chi to have a straight fight. Even though we have two candidates ready for their constituency, even internally we have candidates who are very interested to contest in the SMC. It's the same case for Tampines SMC as well. Yeah, but because of wanting to fulfill the ideal of opposition unity, we make these decisions. But on hindsight, now that we know that certain opposition parties, they are not in for this. Yeah, and some of them will use opposition unity as a reason to make you move away. So it's kind of, to me, if I would say, is very insulting to the work that we have done over the years. Is very insulting to the commitment that we make to the people over there. As a political party, there must be a line drawn between trying to make everybody happy and having self-respect for yourself, for your own party. Yeah, because if we look forward, if ever NSP is being elected into parliament, we need to maintain our party values in order to be a respectable political party to advance the interests and the concerns of our Singaporeans and Singapore. If we cannot make a stand, there's no value to our existence at all.
now that we are still, in the election and the cards have all been laid out, right?
Yeah.
You do have to, roll with it. So now knowing that you are in multi-cornered fights for both constituencies, like what is the strategy, that you're adopting for the two teams?
Okay. Over the past 7 days, when you listen to all the opposition parties, what they are campaigning for, I would say more or less everyone is campaigning for the same thing. Everyone is concerned with the cost of living. This is one huge agenda, one huge item by itself. But what is different from NSP is from other political parties that we are being rational about it. Every political party is championing for a rollback of GST. But do they understand the mechanism of and the implication of rolling back GST? Is it going to be effective, or how are you going to ensure that prices will come down? So if there's no thought through process of like how we're going to ensure that prices will come down, for example, 1 cup of coffee, $1.90 per cup for a small cup and $2 something for a bigger cup. See, so when the GST rollback is being rolled back, how are you going to ensure that this price will drop? You see, operators will simply say, cost of other things has gone up. I have no way to lower my price. Okay? We are a small country. We are affected by cost of imports. We have no control over how other countries price their thing. We are more or less a price taker. Okay? So what we can do is how we can manage these rising costs with the best policies that we can. So for NSP, our policy is very rational, and I believe that SM Lee, PM Wong, they have mentioned all other political parties except ours, because ours is the most rational one. And our proposal actually propose a challenge to them. Okay, what we want to propose is that let's cap GST at 9%. PM Wong has said that okay, up to 2030 there will be no increase in GST. But what happens next? Is there anyone stopping them within the next 5 years that you cannot increase? They can easily come up with a reason. Hey, sorry, I really need to increase because not enough money for social funding. What we propose, NSP proposes, let's cap it at 9%. You need more money? Let's look at other avenues on how we can increase our revenue, the returns on our investment. We have the world's highest paid ministers, correct? And we have ministers who are very clever in maximizing their returns. They can rent state properties while renting out their own private properties to collect rental. They are maximizing on their own assets. GCB, Good Glass Bungalow, GCB. It costs what, $88 million a piece. How much they have profited over time. So we have the highest paid ministers. The challenge for them is don't take the easy way out by simply raising tax in order to collect more money to fund our social programs. What they should do is think of ways, methods, strategies to increase our investment returns. Only then is a healthier way to move our country forward and to really reduce the cost of living for Singaporeans. Yeah, this is one of the constructive policies that we come up with, to really address the cost of living. I'm not saying that vouchers or these are not good, but it's really a one-time off thing. Have you been to NTUC recently? Like, a piece of $50, how many things you can buy? You can't even fill like 1/4 of the trolley. So things are getting very expensive. Vouchers is a one-time off. We need to look at more long-term policies to address this concern, the cost of living.
A lot of Singaporeans in general, and this is talking about the ones in the middle, right? Because you have those people who will always support PAP, and then those people who will always support opposition.
Yes.
The middle ones are the ones who are open to options and just considering.
Yes.
So maybe you can spell it out for them. If they vote for the NSP, like what exactly will they be voting for in their parliament?
For this central group of voters, if they vote for NSP, they are voting for a party who is very concerned and focused in auditing the PAP policies, auditing the governance process, whether it's being fair to Singaporeans and Singapore. We are not obsessively concerned with power, like I need to have more MPs, in Parliament, while saying that, no, I'm not going to change the government. Our first mission is to audit, and to advance constructive policies in Parliament for our current generation of Singaporeans and the future generation of Singaporeans.
In terms of the kind of Singapore that the NSP is hoping to build, what would it look like?
Okay, we hope to achieve the best living environment, the best country to live in the world, where every Singaporean dreams can be achieved through honest, decent hard work without being burdened down by heavy cost of living, and especially decades long of loan repayment just for your HDB. Yeah.
So after listening to this conversation, if let's say the audience would like to find out more about the NSP, where can they go to?
Okay, they can visit our website at nsp.sg, or they can simply pop into our Facebook. You can see our posts or what we have done or what we want to champion on, or if there's things or issues that are not being covered, feel free to drop us a message. We'll be more than happy to get in touch with you.
Before I go into my last question for you, if you could just summarize the manifesto of NSP this election in just like a few key points, one by one, what would they be?
One of the main concerns that we have is truly affordable homes of a decent size, because we find that the HDB homes now are simply too small. Job opportunities for young Singaporeans as well as for middle-aged Singaporeans that offers a decent living wage, and even more that can further improve the quality of your life. Lastly, to live your life, even in your retirement years, without having to worry that you are unable to afford the cost of living in Singapore to live the decent quality life that you dream of.
And my last question to you is, why should young voters in your constituencies consider supporting or voting for the NSP?
Okay, if you're expecting improvement by voting the same old party into Parliament, then maybe the improvement may not come so as soon as you wish for. If you vote NSP, as I mentioned, our very single focus is to serve you and to advance very constructive, forward-looking policies in Parliament. And we can quicken the process, because we should not let Parliament be dominated by just the white and the blues, where they are now behaving like children in the playground, bickering over things, who is the one who can take credits of policies here and there when all the hard work is being done by civil service. So we will be the one in Parliament, to whip them into shape. That, hello guys, let's bring our attention back on issues that matters to Singaporeans and to Singapore. Yeah.
All right. Very nicely said. Thank you, Mr. Spencer Ng, for joining us today, and all the best for the GE.
Okay, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Spencer Ng, for joining us today and giving us valuable insights into the NSP as well as their vision for Singapore's future. Make sure to check out the rest of our episodes in this series as well. If you appreciate the work that we're doing, show us some love by following us on Spotify, subscribing on YouTube, and sharing this episode with your friends. Go binge the other episodes now, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Political Prude, the podcast. Bye!